Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the IWC's Portuguese Tourbillon Mystère reference 5042-02. You can see and you can purchase this one of 250 limited series in pink gold on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this 44mm Flying Tourbillon 7-day power reserve Portuguese. Now this watch gives you a lot of content. Part of the first family of IWC Portuguese Tourbillon watches, the model debuted in 2004 and ran through 2009. 250 pieces were made in this handsome pink gold alloy, which is probably best described as the 3N variant of rose gold. That is, there's pink, there's rose, and there's red. This is pink. It's not too far off yellow, but it has a little bit more warmth and richness and nuance about it. 44.2mm across the round of the case. It's a big watch, but that's always been the style of the Portuguese since the very first 1939 reference 325. The watch isn't terribly thick, considering automatic winding with a tourbillon and a 7-day reserve, as the timepiece measures a reasonable 14.4mm with a generously sloped concave bezel that both visually pairs the mass and gives a dress cuff a chance to ramp up and over the watch. From lug to lug, 52.5mm is a reasonable span for a 44 plus, so I think you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 14.5 centimeters in circumference with absolutely no appearance of ill proportion or insecure fit. You can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it does work with you. The watch's number one ergonomic virtue being those sharply downturned and short-cropped lugs. They don't flare out, they turn about 90 degrees from the case band to wrap around your wrist. So even if they go straight out to the edge of your forearm, they don't appear to project outward awkwardly. They blend, they melt, they drape themselves around. Handsome and ergonomically excellent. I should mention the watch weighs a ton. A pleasure if you like to feel the horological significance, the value, the sense that your watch is exuding luxury. Some can't get by with titanium, carbon fiber, and ceramic. For those, there is no substitute for precious metal, and this watch delivers. You get a full pink gold clasp, single fold deployant, nicely finished, all of high polish within, a little bit of satin finishing and faceting on the outside, a nice counterweight to a heavy watch head so you can wear the watch loose on your wrist and it's not going to want to porpoise. That's the advantage of having a heavy bracelet or a clasp for a heavy watch. Now you'll note that the strap is rectangular scale alligator leather, a medium brown, has a little bit of bolstering to give it body, as well as a gloss finish with a monotone stitch and folded edges, supple calfskin on the underside, quite comfortable, and the timepiece fairly nuanced in its case lines. It's a beautiful brute, but it's also a brainy brute. As you can see, it's sophisticated in ways that most oversized references aren't. First, the contrast between the polished caseback and bezel and the caseband in satin finish, as well as the way the satin finish drapes itself down and around the lugs. You can see the lugs taper beautifully, and in Art Deco style, the watch was conceived in the 30s, the Portuguese. It has a beautiful blending of caseband and lug, fluid, fine, even delicate, not something you might expect on a watch pushing beyond 44mm. And you'll note the concave profile of the bezel one more time, visually paring back the mass. The dial is the focal point, though, as if you view the watch from the front, like all Portuguese references, the bezel melts away and the dial dominates. It's a beautiful metallic matte silver. All of the individual Arabic numerals in Art Deco style are hand applied and polished for a high contrast and a rich appearance. At center, rose gold hands. You can see leaf style, just like the first Portuguese. Interesting surround for the Flying Tourbillon, a handsome plate in rose gold with Côte de Genève running vertically. The tourbillon cage is genuinely beautiful in its finishing, and it rewards close viewing with a loop. You can see on the case back the mounting point for the tourbillon and the 7-day power reserve automatic winding caliber. Now this is based on IWC's 50,000 series family, which was spawned from the Millennial Series 5000, And a huge mainspring barrel providing 7 days of power reserve, and a stop works to halt the movement when it gets to such a low reserve that can no longer keep good time. You'll note the pawl-based Peloton winding system. Its two pawls and its pawl wheel are visible just below my thumb. Efficient bidirectional winding and robustly shock resistant. It's a tough sports watch system that's also efficient enough to warrant placement in a grand complication. Of course, skeletonized winding mass with an inset yellow gold Probus Scapusia, or IWC motto and logo inset. You can also see there's a rich, if rudimentary, circular Cote de Genève about the bridges of the movement on the case back. This is reference 5900 with 44 joules for those who are keeping score. But the finest finish is on the tourbillon carriage itself. A handsome watch and a remarkably long-legged complication. No, you're not going to wear a tourbillon every day, so this is going to be an occasional watch for most. The good thing is, with a 7-day power reserve, you need only return to this handsome, complicated all-timer. After all, this is the Portuguese, the flagship complication, short of constant force escapement or a sidereal complication. This one's flying the flag, and you only need to fly the flag once a week to wind this watch back up and work it into your rotation of timepieces. You know, it's often said that a watch with a long power reserve that you can put down at the end of the week, allow to sit for a weekend, then pick up on Monday, is a sufficient contemporary power reserve. I say, why stop there? First of all, you may never want to take it off, but if you must put it down, this is a watch that needs only occasional considerations. Handsome, nicely finished, and again, not an Ingenieur, not a Da Vinci, not a Portofino. The Portuguese is IWC, and this is one of the all-time great Portuguese complications. See it and own it on our website.